Hi everyone, welcome to the Splunk lab setup video. Now we will be only setting up the Windows server and all the labs will be done on the Windows server. But to set up the Splunk software in Linux, we will be recording the Linux Splunk installation video for which the configuration will be this IP address. But anyhow, for our main lab, our Windows based server where our Splunk server software will be installed will have at least 2 core CPU processors, minimum 4 GB RAM, and the IP address will be of this series. And in the Windows client where we'll install the Windows Universal Forwarder, the system will be 1 core with 2 GB RAM and this specific IP address. And in Linux, where we'll install the Universal Forwarder for Linux in the .deb file, it will be 1 core 2 GB with this specific IP address. Now let's not waste time and let's start the system configuration verification. So let's go to our system. We have got our server up and ready. So let's see the VM settings for the system. For the system, if you see, the RAM is 4 GB, the processor is 2, and the network is in NAT mode. And we'll check the IP address. If you see here, the server name is Windows SP Server. IP address is 160 as specified in the document, and other default variables are set. Now let's go to the second server, Splunk Windows client, where we'll install the forwarder. Again, we will check the VM settings to make sure our settings is correct. It's 2 GB RAM, 1 processor core, and the IP is set to 161 accordingly. Now our third system, which is Ubuntu client, let's open an terminal. And if you see here, our IP address is set to 162 IP address, and so our Linux service, Linux client is also ready. So let's do one thing. Let's start with the Splunk server installation. As we have seen in the class demo, it was very simple. We have already copied the software Splunk 7.1 x86 record, because this is a Windows 732 GB OS. We'll install it over here. The process is very simple. Double click on the Splunk. So yes, you get the agreement. You have to read the agreement, but as we see that we have already done it in the class, we'll not worry about reading the license agreement. But it's always best practice to read the EULA. Then always, please always select the customize option, so you can look at all the parameter before installing. So customize option, we are installing it in C:\program file Splunk. Select next. Yes, we are installing the local enterprise for a local system, because it's a demo scenario. We are installing a local system. If you want integration with a domain server, you will select the domain account. Now it's a local system, so we're going to select as local system, and then this is the password for our default admin account. The username will be admin in small letters, and yes, because we are setting the password for that, our lab standard password for every scenario will be capital A DMIN @123. So let's do that. So let's press next, and we are creating a start install shortcut, and we do the installation, and that is all it is there for the server installation, guys. It is just going to install the software. So let's wait for the installation. Here you go, guys. The installation is finished, and we already installed Google Chrome for optimal efficiency for viewing the Splunk UI. So it's gonna open it in. There you go, it has opened. And if you see here, one of the default port numbers, if you're connecting remotely, the port to be opened for this UI to be accessed is port 8000 in this system for sending the traffic, and in the wherever whichever system you're browsing from, you have to open this as a incoming connection, sorry, outgoing connection. Anyhow, let's look at the login. As we said, the default account is admin, and the default password for all our labs from now on will be capital ADMIN@123. So let's try that. Now this is the version for our Splunk 7.1.1, guys. So you've just installed, check the lab setup, a very simple setup to practice our Splunk fundamentals labs, and we have installed Splunk 7.1.1 in our Windows server. Now this is our main UI. We'll explore the UI in another video. For now, that is all, folks, for the Windows Splunk server installation. We'll come back with the next videos for the agent deployment. Thank you.